Alright, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you an adventure map that I was working on a long time ago, and we'll just kind of take a look at what it was going to be about and the different elements in it. It had a lot of elements. Uh, so just to kind of give you a look of how it's made, I was using a editor that could allow me to copy and paste builds and different maps, and the program shut down after a certain amount of time, but sounds like Minecraft is making, or Mojang is making their own, so we'll see. This is where you start out. I had several versions of the house. Um, it was very simple, just a couple of rooms. Originally, I had the idea of making it single or multiplayer. This was the single player. That's a car, by the way. I'm sure you could tell. This was the multiplayer house. And this one was designed so that way you could have two or more players. And here was the vehicle that you could get into. I made it big enough for 4 players. And then I came up with another idea to just combine it. So this house is a combination of multiple players that could play the adventure together. And so you would choose single player or multiplayer. The point of it was that it would take place in a normal society, and as you were driving down the road, a biker would come and crash your vehicle, and you would end up in a town. And in the town, you would find a bank that you would hide in, and you would survive an explosion that would change the world. So this is kind of what the world is. I use the mushroom biome. This is like a survivor's camp. So different stages of it. So with new vehicles, then this is how it grows. So you find these survivor camps as you go through the level and kind of see how they're progressing. And this would be at the end when they're all traveling away. You can see the vehicles have really broken down. I had a few other vehicles, different things. Um, this was actually a hint at a second map I was going to make that takes place in the Badlands. Here's some different vehicles I had of different grades of rust. Here was a survivor's place of a small motel. You can see there's beds on the ground. This would be a trader. You would meet him early on, and then later in the map you would meet him again, and his balloon is more fallen apart. I did have a level where you'd go to the movers, and it's actually pretty cool. I designed it with using light in mind to kind of light up the place with crates and vehicles and such, and kind of make a maze back here. I would have zombies pop out and attack, and the player would probably find something to help them go to the next area. So, yes, it took me a while to, whoops, it took me a while to build the words movers. Took me a while to figure that out. Let me see. Here was a house that you would find, and it was a house that was self-automated. So this is kind of more of a Fallout version. but it was all automated. So as you go into the rooms, there would be like poems or other things. It's based on an old story. Uh, but the house would catch on fire, and you would have to run and jump out the window into a pool. This was the other version of the house. I think I like this one a little better because it separates each room that you can go in and explore. So this one, the same thing happens. The glass would break, and then you'd be able to jump out the window. This was a plane that I was going to have on the map, and you would find it crashed on a hill, and you could actually go inside of it. I can't remember what the difference was between the versions. Oh, maybe it was just sort of worn down. Let me see if I can get inside of it. Okay, this one's a plain version. Let me see what this one is. Okay, this is a plain version. I think I used to have seats, but they got taken away. This was the town that you come to after you get into your car wreck. Only part of it is available because I blocked off the rest with cars and air blocks. This is the tunnel that leads out of the town. But as you go here, you wake up in the jail in one of the cells. I hear water for some reason. Then you come out here and you can explore. You can go to the different buildings. Like there's a gas station you can see. Here's the vending machines. I actually kind of like that build. There's some houses you can go to. There's a water tower. This one's pretty funny if you try to get in. Oh no, that's in the other version. Never mind. Anyway, you eventually make your way to the bank. And when you go in there, they say there's something for you. And you open the door and go inside of it. I think the versions of the bank are over here. Yeah, this is one of them. Oh, I guess I didn't hook it up to redstone. This is another one. I'm trying to remember what the purpose of having multiples. I don't remember. Anyway, after you get out of the vault, you actually come out into the destroyed version of the town. And yes, I did copy and paste this, and I went through and manually changed it by hand to make it destroyed. It took me a while. But yeah, here's the bank. It's all dark. You come out and find the town completely destroyed. You can explore the whole town, although there is a way to explore in the regular town. You just have to figure it out. The water tower is destroyed. I did have it where if you tried to get into this pink house, you would get knocked back because there was a survivor in there. But as you can see, the town is pretty much destroyed. Then you would go through the tunnel and come out into a mushroom biome world, and you would ride minecarts and go on a big long adventure of exploring locations and fighting enemies and doing a lot of fun stuff. This was a mall that I was going to have the player go into. And I had some of it figured out. I think I based this off an actual mall, but I can't remember which one. Um, Now, the origin of why the world turned into a mushroom biome has to do with space. Um, this was made more for fun. Maybe you found it on the plains. Here's some stuff you find. But the way the game started was you had a dream sequence, and as you played the game, the level, you would have different dream sequences that would reveal the plot of the story. So when you first start the game, you would appear in this one. Yes, this was handmade. You would have to go around and jump on the pressure plates until a button appeared. And then once you push the button, you would wake up. Uh, it was mostly to set the stage and be able to make it kind of interesting. Here's the different dream sequences. There was this one, which is I can't remember the painter's name, but it's one of those mazes with the upside down staircases. So you'd have to figure out how to find your way out of here. Um, when you crashed in the car, you ended up in here. It's kind of a mix of road lines, and then you would have to push the buttons to make a bridge that you can jump up, and then you would go down this tunnel, and this kind of hinted at the story of the game. Then you would come here and there would be a button that you could push to get out. I'm going to have to go all the way back through though. But it would kind of reveal the origin of why the world turned into a mushroom biome. Some other dream sequences I had are this one. This gave one of the biggest hints. Yeah, I used a lot of symbolism here. Then you find this satellite, which is a big hint. And then you come out into this puzzle maze where you had to figure out how to get inside the sand glass. I actually made a second version, so if you got stuck, you could actually find a button at the bottom of the water, and you can change the sphere, teleport to another sphere, similar one, that actually had the path marked, so that way you knew where to go. So that way it can make it easier for the player. I also had this dream sequence, which I think reveals the truth. Sorry, these hallways are long. But yeah, here's the satellite. And then as you go around, you start to notice there's something wrong with the satellite. Until you see that it's plagued with something. And then this would lead to another puzzle. I never did finish this one. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back through here. But the point is that the satellite was in space, and we'll see in this next dream sequence the truth of it. This is a reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey. And this would be mirrored, so we'd use the levitation potion to get the player up here. And then they would come out here, and they would find out that the satellite got pulled into a black hole, which corrupted it, and when it crash landed on the Earth, it corrupted the world into a mushroom biome. Some other dream sequences I have are these. Kind of a chessboard. It was actually an arrow puzzle. You would shoot the switches, and then it would take you to this bigger version, and you would have to shoot at the buttons. And then there was this dream sequence, if I can get up there quickly. There we go. This one you just fall down. It's representing the black hole. Then we had this dream sequence where you were in a room, and then you would be teleported, or the room would change into this black version, and zombies would come after you, and then you'd probably be teleported out. Here's kind of explaining how the world was corrupted. So it shows the world in a peaceful state, and you come here to this garden, and then it was going to get hit by lightning, and then you'd be transported to this version, which showed the corruption of the world. And I'll kind of show you what's inside these. It's just a staircase. I did make a jumping puzzle, but to make sure that people didn't fail the jumping puzzle, I just put air blocks. So it sort of tricks you to make you think that there's an air puzzle or a jump puzzle. But I used this to design the interior of those cones. So this was the interior, and this was the bottom formation of all of them. So but yeah, that's my adventure map. It was supposed to be like a Mad Max minecart adventure map that you would go through dream sequences and meet people and rescue things and fight monsters and do lots of fun stuff. I never did finish it because that editor got shut down, so I never got to copy and paste them into other worlds. But hopefully Mojang will bring out a program that's similar, and I'll be able to finish this map. Otherwise, I'll have to rebuild it by scratch. But as for now, I think this is just a nice reminder of what I was working on and kind of fun times I had. But thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you later.